So we're on our way to Poland. Want to come? So for an in-flight meal, we got chicken, a salad, smoked salmon, a dessert, and even a piece of bread, a little bit of wine. That's gone, but they'll be back around. We just got off an 11-hour flight, more or less. It was incredibly comfortable. The food was probably the best I've ever had on any flight. I was telling Robert there, picked us up. It was all quick and easy. Very nice so far. We're gonna take a look around. We got a 3.5-hour drive to make it over to our hotel, and then the action will start, tomorrow most likely. So we're gonna bring you guys along for the ride. We're gonna learn as much as we possibly can, and I hope you guys enjoy. Ślepsk 4, which is comprised of 5 different buildings, and they call this one of their smaller areas, but there's nothing small about it. It's a beautiful space, and we're gonna walk inside right this building here behind me where Exo Boats does most of their fabrication. So from what I understand, they bring the aluminum hulls from somewhere out.
Yeah, they have their own production for
the aluminum hulls. And you guys handle all the fiberglass here.
We receive aluminum hulls, we check the quality, and if it's okay, we put in the production.
Right, and you guys do all the assembly?
Yeah, we do all the laminate, the rest of laminate, and full assembly.
Excellent. All right, let's walk inside and take a look around.
Okay.
All right, so as you can see here behind me, this is the lamination area, correct?
Yes, it's a 1/3 of the building. We create one building for all processes. We have laminate, painting, cutting, pre-assembly, maintenance, and full assembly.
So it's nice. It looks like one long line. It goes from section to section.
It is.
All the way out the door at the other end.
Yeah, it's good from logistic point of view, and that is the way how we do.
So I imagine every boat brings you their own lamination schedule, their own way that they want to produce their boats, and you guys basically follow that and manufacture
when they
from their
have
specs.
a new project, we are involved from the beginning and help create laminate documentation, because we have a lot of experience. But when sometimes our partner delivery for us already existing models, they need to provide for us full documentation of laminate. Usually we do our own the documentation of assembly. That is how it's look.
Understood. So right here we have basically a paint booth. This is where they're laying up the hulls, start off with the gel coat. And what you notice, actually everything is nice and clean. These areas tend to be the dirtier sections of most fabrication shops, but this is very nice. You can see a deck liner that was laid up here recently.
Yes, it seems to be different area because of the smell and chemicals tree. So the people work here in full
protection. Masks.
Yes.
So here you're producing small parts?
Yes. The left side it's for inliners, decks, and the right side it's for small parts.
How many boats are you producing for Exo a year right now?
It's less than it was in the past, but I think around 80 per year. Something like that, yeah.
You guys may have seen our video that we did over in Cannes, France with Exo. So we got to learn quite a bit about the boats. Incredible quality, very solid. I always expected aluminum boats to be a little hollow and felt like you'd be able to hear a bit of a bang or some of that sound when you're offshore, but I was very impressed. We were out in the French Riviera, the most amazing backdrop I've ever seen, running those boats with the shock absorbing seats. And
they are.
It's funny to see and go all the way full circle to see where they're actually manufactured.
They are created for tough, rough water. So the aluminum, it's a little bit different working than laminate. But yeah, that is good product, Scandinavian product, Scandinavian idea, but now we help them to do that.
I'm seeing now here all the foam coring. You guys CNC cut everything that these boats, all the foam core?
We have that in our documentation, and different stages prepare sub-components, and then people who make the laminate, they check which number go where, and that is how it should be.
It seems very organized. Obviously, when you're manufacturing different brands of boat, different models. Everyone has their own way of doing things.
Okay.
So you have to be an organized group to be able to accomplish what they're doing here. You can see one of the defenders a little bit further along here in the assembly, which is nice. And I see a test pool back here. So
yes, so in this part now we have some of Exo boats, some of other brands like Axopar. We have here prototyping, a new company, new partner who joined us. It's Danish company named Rand, which they just started a few weeks ago working with us. So in some the best moment we had like maybe 8-9 boats per time, Exo. Now it's much less. We do parts, sometimes Axopar, sometimes Rand, sometimes Exo in this small Ślepsk port.
So the companies that you're doing lesser quantities, you kind of mix in this space a little bit.
Yes, because now in the orders what we have from Exo, it couldn't be enough for all this factory.
Okay.
So we added the smallest one of Axopars. The biggest ones, new 29, 37 and 45, it's in the main shipyard.
And you mentioned you're doing 800 plus Axopars a year?
Around, yeah, around. And here it's a small warehouse, which we can see, which supply the Exo production. So this is the small
inventory
support warehouse for assembly. Yeah, for like maybe 2-3 weeks up front, which is in the same building. So in very short, small company, you can have everything: lamination, warehouse, assembly, testing pool, quality checking, and taking boat outside and waiting for a transport.
I can see this being a complicated process on its own, ordering and maintaining inventory of so many small parts, considering you're working with so many brands as well.
Yeah. Here is only Exo parts, so for the biggest models, they have around 1,400 parts, so everything is preparing here and then going on the assembly.
It's impressive.
So that is more or less, and we have outside parking when the boats are waiting.
And your test pool, you actually bring the boat and test some of
we put the boats, we on the engines, we check the potential leakages, or we do spray tests. So yeah, we use the testing pool for that.
Very comfortable atmosphere in here. It seems perfect temperature.
Yeah, it is.
Very nice and clean considering all the work that you guys are doing in here.
The managers of production are sitting on the production hall. So dzień dobry. So everyone is very quick reacting if something happens. So
what line is this right here? This is a pretty nice looking hull.
I think this is the Rand. This is the Rand. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first model what we do for them, and on the mold production you will see the big one, the new prototype, which is 40 probably feet.
A question I have: when it comes to warranty with a company working with you in this facility, how does that work? God forbid there was an issue with one of their boats.
It's pretty easy. So when it's happens something with project design or material which our partners buy themselves, it's not our responsibility.
Right.
When it's laminate stuff or problem, or some small parts problem or assembly problem, it's our full responsibility, and whatever it is, if it's Poland, Europe or States, it's full our problem or situation to solve. So we usually send our own teams in Europe to recognize the problem and solve the problem. If it's America, US or Australia or something different, we usually use somebody, temporary subcontractor to solve the problem. But it's our job.
Let me show you guys something real quick that I noticed here. I mentioned CNC cutting the foam coring. You even see the 45-degree angle that they put on every corner here. And the reason why they do that is if you square it, you end up with an air void in between. So with that 45, you can lay that down, get all that air out, and you can see every block here is perfect. We've seen a lot of smaller builders. All this is hand cut. Sometimes they're getting little pieces and kind of puzzling it together. And since it's underneath, they're kind of hiding it and assume you're not seeing it. So I'd love to see this scenario like this with clean cuts, all the right angles on everything, no air voids anywhere. You know, it's going to give you a solid
angles
product all the way
are very
through.
important.
What is this material? Is this a stronger support in the cut areas, or what is
Yes, I don't know. I don't remember the name, but yes, it's create extra support, extra strengthnesses in this area. So in documentation, when the engineers or design company create that kind of stuff, it means it will have naprężenia.
Less flex.
Less flexible, yeah. Will be much stronger in these places. So something will be installed there.
Look, you can see a bunch of small parts here laid out as well that were recently done, all numbered.
All departments, all etaps are prepared by ERP system, which give them information when and what part need to be ready for production. So it's not like somebody decide which will be first, it's a system decide for us. We have the spraying water system, which give us exactly humidity and temperature and
okay. So it's all...
environment which you need, because it's a little bit tricky building. It's not fixed building, it's a little bit like half of tent building.
I see that, yeah.
So it's working, and summer you have little bit of electrical static situation. So you need to have them to create more humidity.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, it was after few months we recognized that. This is infusion.
Oh, okay.
We do little bit of infusion. It depends of our partners. If they want, we do. But mainly, like 80% of our production, it's handmade laminate.
Okay. Well, let's continue on. Right here behind us, we have the Barabus Marine facility. So, Michael, you were telling us that this is part of the Ślepsk circle, but they actually rent and they have their own group assembling the Barabus boats, correct?
Yeah, the Barabus and the Axopar, they have joint venture. The Barabus do always a business with somebody who have joint venture with them. What I know, they never let nobody else do the business with them if they are not part of the partners. So we established this facility like maybe 5 years ago, and we rent the land and the building for joint venture Barabus and Axopar.
Similar to the cars, we do have a video that we put up over in the Dusseldorf boat show with Axopar, and we were able to visit the Barabus facility where they get the Mercedes-Benz, the Porsches, and they, amplify them. They do the same thing with Axopar. They get a base Axopar and they ramp it up to the highest capability, and that creates the Barabus Marine brand. So we can't show you what's going on inside, unfortunately, but we did want to mention and show you this product here from the outside. We're going to take a look, though. We just can't show you guys. I'm sorry.
Put the parts and send by car to production, just to see how many parts it is, really.
So these are parts for
Brunswick. So it's a Serie B liner, Quicksilver. We have two ramps, which they fill with the parts, the cars delivery to main shipyards. They have the orders with the number of the boats, where, what day, on which etap they go.
Well, just to give you an idea, Michael had mentioned that one of the XO boats can have up to 1,400 parts. So just imagine the Brunswick brands, Axopar, XO, Sea Ray, and being able to organize all this inventory is absolutely amazing. This goes as far as the eye can see, and there's several different rows. So it's all numbered. They know exactly what's where.
Yes.
And I assume there's some sort of system that's keeping track of the number of each item that you have in inventory, where you have to reorder and restock.
We use ERP system Commerce, which is connect with the production. So from Commerce system, the people who work here, they know what they need to prepare around 1 week before the material are needed on the production.
This is a serious job for one or more people.
Yeah, it's I think around 10 people working here in full at it. They have here engines, fuel tanks, most of all everything what we do not build. So it's not full of material, because that what we build, we keep in our own.
Right, you custom fabricate a lot of the items.
In our own.
There's all engines here?
Yeah, the engines. Because Brunswick use only Mercury engines, they are, here.
Of course.
Probably they have around 50 of them, maybe more, maybe 60. And with here, Mercury, so I think around 100 now. More or less.
So these are the IOs, the inboards?
Some outboards, some inboards, yes. This is our inboards, engines. It is a little bit of material and a little bit of money. Zbigniew, ile macie silników? Koło 100 teraz?
Yes.
Around 100 engines they have.
100 engines.
Around, yeah.
So this is actually the first time that we visit a facility that does more than, let's say, you know, a few hundred boats. We have gone to some of the smaller builders, which in South Florida are large builders, might do a couple hundred boats. But, you know, being able to organize, you guys are doing how many boats a year out of here? 3,000?
Close to 2,000 now.
Wow. All right, well.
So these engines, what you see here, it's okay for a little bit less than 1 month's production.
1 month only. Wow. All right, well, let's go check out that other facility.
Okay. Many companies start here. Sea-Ray start here in 2000. Then when Grow, we changed the place. Exo start here. When Grow, we changed the place. And Axopar start here 10 years ago. And when Axopar started growing, we create individual company for Axopar. Until last year, here was only Yamarin. And this 900 boats, but not now anymore. Now it's Yamarin and Axopar. So it was very old government company, which we buy in year 2000, and we renew a little bit. We just postponed new building last year, so we can just see the new building and go back to main Ślepsk. Dzień dobry. Very quick. So that is more or less Yamarins, which you don't know too much the brand, but more or less.
Yeah, if I saw it, maybe recognize.
It's very small company, very crowded. I will see if we make it to go just under the new building, I hope.
So you still build Axopar here?
Yes. We decide when Yamarin are less, we leave Yamarin there and we use the new building for Axopar. Because the previous plan was to use this new building to build more Yamarins, because they had plans to do not 900 but 1,200 around, but the crisis come, so it's stay and waiting for better days, but they are okay to do Axopar here because they cannot give us more boats and the building cannot stay empty. Very quick review of assembly only. In a different place we have laminate. This is assembly only, yeah? And
this gets assembled all the way to the finished product, or
what you say?
This gets finished all the way to the finished product, ready for
here?
delivery?
Yes. Here you have start assembly to the end and taking out. So you have the same on the end testing pool. On this side of the wall you have warehouse, which will be full someday. Yeah, we just start maybe 4 months ago using this building.
Nice building. You have a skylight down the middle, letting some light in here.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be 70 degrees, perfect temperature. It's a beautiful place
to work. It's good to work. It's high enough, wide enough.
Sure.
So we can build here the boats around 35, 37
and you crane the boats basically all the way, you know, to their resting spot, to their cradles.
You have 4 cradles, independent, more than 6 tons. So yeah, it's good assembly building.
How quickly do you bring, let's say, an Axopar from the original lamination, gel coat layout to a completed boat? How fast are they cycling through?
It depends on the model, but we can say around 4 or 5 weeks.
From start to finish?
From start to finish, yes. It of course depends on the model, but I think 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, so now we're gonna head over to the larger.
Yeah, now we go to the main one.
All right, let's check that out. We haven't seen the good stuff yet.
Our visiting in Ślepsk 1 now, in the main company which we established '89, and this is one of the oldest building in Ślepsk, almost in the same position, the same look during 35 years. It's a stainless steel department, which we are very proud of that, because it's maybe not too much modern, but we use a lot of skilled handmade people, experienced people, and the quality of our product is the same good the day when we produce, and the same like after 3, 4, 5 years. So that's why we didn't want to change the technology of product.
Gotcha. So you basically do everything in-house.
Yes, we try to do everything we can. If it's something what we think we can do, We do. Okay guys, so we have a director of support departments and we have a manager of stainless steel department, Piotr Krasko and Bogdan Ulikowski. Piotr is with us 21 years and Bogdan is with us, jak długo? 22 years. So like you see, we have a lot of experience, long life people with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
we've seen that quite a bit. Walking through the areas, you have several people here that have been 20 plus years, which shows a lot about the company, about the people behind it, and you know, you're only going to stay for that amount of time if you're happy with where you're at.
It is. In some moment or etap of production, you need to have advanced machines, which we have in some places of our company, but in some, you still need to have very good, skilled people who give their own experience and handmade skills.
Sure.
So that's why we believe
this is an art form.
Yeah, that is
creating metalwork
even
like
strongest.
This. Yeah.
So please, let me see.
So first thought coming in here is that it's a lot bigger than what we're used to seeing when, you know, the companies we've worked with, we've seen having, you know, their own interior metal fabrication work for aluminum. Even a lot of the manufacturers that are subcontracted in South Florida don't have a facility like this. So
we stopped here because that is nice to see. This is etaps. What need to be done when the metal parts need to be from the beginning to the end to be ready to assembly, nice, shiny and polished. Okay. So we have some CNC machine which is mass production. And we have a handmade machine, more mechanic, which is for prototyping. This is welding stations. All our sets are always checking by templates. So whatever, if we do some railings 3 years and we know them and machine bending them, anyhow, we check them every piece on the templates to check exactly if it's bent, if it's fitting, because when you send to the production, production shouldn't have any bad product. Should have only checked and proved by the quality, fitting nicely product. So we do here for Axopar, Brunswick, Exo, and we can do for all partners who want us to do.
And for the majority of the partners you work with, you do fabricate a majority of their stuff?
We do a lot. Yeah, I think not 100%, but majority.
Most of them?
Because it's easier for them. One place, one company, one invoice. Especially when we do prototyping, it's very good to have all of these departments.
Oh, this is impressive to see. You can see this is an Axopar.
This is Axopar left railing.
Left bow rail, grab rail.
Yeah.
So all these are mounted in place.
This is only for Axopar, this model. So when we do 3.7 Axopar, the people bring the templates for 3.7 Axopar and we checking all the parts. And then when we finish the set, we take out and we bring the new templates for different models.
And this radius is done by hand, or you have a machine that creates this?
This one, it's from CNC machine.
CNC machine?
Create the templates.
Yeah. And then all welded together after the fact?
Yes. First step, you measure without welding, and second step, you again measure with the welding, because welding can create some
slight adjustments.
Sometimes.
Sure. That's nice. I personally hadn't seen a template like this, where you can see each piece of wood is set there for good. And then they lay it on there just to test to make sure that the CNC machine is creating the exact radius every single time. So they take an extra step that many most likely don't.
Here you can see they create a new template for Axopar, for new 29 Axopar. So they just start to maintenance to work on it. And when it will be finished, it will be a little bit look like that. So for all models which we do, we have templates.
Very interesting. So this is a situation here where they're hand bending it.
Yeah.
Which is always cool to see that aluminum bend like that. But they check it, double check it, triple check it, put it on the template, and that's how you get this finished product like that that's identical, you know, every single time. They're doing so many that they can't have that even slight margin of error. And I know Jan Erik over at Axopar is very specific and meticulous in his product. So
now is the moment when they bending and they checking fitting. If it's not fit well, they will rebend again until it will be perfectly fitting.
Yeah.
The most safe the people will do right way, and that's why we don't have rust. I saw once the boat which we sent to Florida after 4 years, and the hinges was buy from our partner, railings was our. Nothing happened. Zero
really?
rust. On the hinges was already rust. So that's why we not change the technology. So if somebody new come to us and they want to buy only stainless steel, usually they don't do that because it's not the cheapest one. But the partners choose because it's in the same company, in the same place, and it's a little bit more, but it's very good quality because you see it's a lot of people make it. Checking, again checking. It's need to cost.
Sure. You do powder coat here as well?
One building further.
Okay.
So after these curtains, we have stations for welding, like you see here, for example. Yeah.
Yeah.
They even welding on the templates to be sure.
Oh, yeah.
For example, this is the one of 6 welding stations. When, for example, we do now the stairs, future stairs for C-Ray 320, which is very massive because it's not only stairs, but it supports some part of the deck. And in next place, we will see the next etap of the same part after the ice seat.
Okay.
After putting the ice. This is next stage, we can say. This is the 320. This is C-Ray 265. And this area, the people put the ice seat to prepare the surfaces to how to say in English, to unlock any corrosion future. Yeah. So this all the 100% material what we build, what we produce, need to going through this station, and then it's going for polishing, and it will be ready for a final quality inspection, and put on a wrap, the foil, and go for production.
Gotcha.
We use a very old grandparents machines, not for mass production, but for individual few parts or prototyping parts. You do something from rare metal. In Polish it's tokarki, tokarz. I don't know in English. But they are older than probably 3 of us together.
Really? I've seen this type of machine before.
Yeah. But they are
cool to see them in action.
undyed. They will
last forever. Huh?
They will last forever, yes. And on the left side and the right side, we have a polishing department, which the same like the ice seat place. We put all the material through this department. It's all the way. Cost more, take more time, more material, but the best what we can do for the quality.
Yeah.
It come here, it's a quality area when the worker, lady or man, check the quality, if it's okay, put the foil, put the sticker, and can go. This is hinges for W43.
Oh wow.
You can see how big and strong it is. It's for open terraces.
Wow. This heavy duty hinge. This is for what? For what?
For W43 Wiszniewski Yachts, left and right terraces, open terraces.
Oh, the whole side doors.
Yes.
Wow. This is a serious hinge. You guys create all this here?
Yes, of course. This full here. They are very heavy, but we believe it needs to be heavy if you need to work many years.
Right.
So all of this, if you have Teflon material inside, it's not normal plastic, it's good quality Teflon.
You can definitely tell the quality just by looking at touching this stuff.
Yeah. So mainly,
I don't know you guys went that far to make your
mainly
own
we
pleats and
have
everything.
all machines what is needed to be cut, bending, welding, ice-sealing, polishing, so mainly everything. And if we need it, we can powder paint it. Good job. Here we have another one support department, which is windshields, which we built like 90% from aluminium and 10% from stainless steel. It depends of the partner needs.
Okay.
Please come on.
Let's check it out.
So this department is only for windshields, most of all for our partners, but we do some outside of Poland, not for us, but for some individual clients.
Okay.
In the past, we was doing a lot for Scandinavian brand, and We use the two technology here, glue or rubbers. It depends on the partners which they choose. We
Right.
buy rare material, we receive rare glass, and all different etaps we do here.
So here they're creating a windshield and they're bending and twisting at the same time. So this is very interesting to see. Never seen this before. And that's how they create some of these crazy windshield designs. So there you have it. You have a bit of a 45-degree angle up in the front, and then as they go bending, it's going to be a straight vertical finish on the back end.
He do all these templates himself. He's with us 25 years.
25
Another
years.
one great
amazing.
part of the Ślepsk team. So when we have
Nice to meet you.
prototypes, Czarek is responsible for the new models.
Similar to the aluminum, they have templates for everything. So whatever they bend or twist, they put it on the template, make sure it's the same every single time that they do it. And there's the finished piece that you get out of that machine. So they bend it. You can see there's a 45-degree angle up at the front, but when you get down to the bottom, it's more of a 90-degree straight vertical.
Making new templates.
Okay, come on.
It will be for new Axopar 29. Here we
29.
have support laser if we need quick cut.
Cutting aluminum. What are these pieces for here? The frame for the windshield?
Axopar 29.
And it's a frame for the windshield?
Do czego to będzie? It strengthens for laminate places. Strengthens
Oh,
which
okay.
go to laminate.
Structural support pieces, basically?
Here you have a ready windshields, which is already check control with the quality and waiting to be wrapped, the foil, and
Yeah.
take to the warehouse.
You can see how nice that is. The machines that they have, how they twist and turn the frame to be able to create whatever glass windshield design that you'd like. These are Axopar pieces that have already been through quality control. They're just getting ready to be wrapped and shipped.
Here we have next support machine, which is the same cutting, but this is water cutting for bigger and more heavy material, which is not so quick like laser, but can cut very deeply.
It's amazing that water is doing that.
It is. Always I am impressed, yeah. And here we have the last supporting third machine. It's press bending machine.
Press
Whatever
bending
you need angles, straight angles, you use that machine.
Oh, wow.
You just change the dials and you can go.
That's a pretty heavy gauge aluminum that it just gets and folds to create that bend.
Yeah.
Look at that. And what is that piece that they're bending there? Basically creating a
Ten element do czego pójdzie?
track of some sort.
Okay, this is only for you to see how it's working.
Oh, it's really just a test?
Just
Okay.
to test, to show you.
Oh, okay, okay. So this isn't an actual part for anything. They're just showing us how the machine works and how they can bend 90-degree angles like that. That's impressive. Imagine the
how
pressure
quick
that that
and
thing is
easy.
putting on. My goodness.
So using the different dies, you can change the
The
angles.
angle, the depth, the thickness.
Yeah.
That's impressive. You think they can clean up a little bit before we start?
Mówi, że się spodziewał, że będzie czyściej trochę.
Poprawimy, powiedz.
We start process from this place. This is first etap when this, how you name that, box area, it's cleaning all the material from the dust, from the dirty, and from the, if it's, tłuste, if it's fat.
Okay.
So it needs to be very clean. This is first cleaning. It's not final, but this is
just
first.
cleaning
We can choose two programs, which for aluminium or for stainless steel. Now we use, jaki?
Aluminium.
Aluminium. And he start with this button, the process. And you hear it start cleaning. First it's cleaning, then it's spraying by normal water, and the third one it's water demineralize.
Demineralize? Okay.
Water. So three things that machine do.
Okay.
All the material never go down. They go all through the stations.
Poczekaj, pokażemy jak to się przesuwa. Tak to się przesuwa, tak?
And you can travel all the way.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that will be later on the end. So if you have stainless steel product, you use only this one etap. If it's aluminum, needs this one etap and the second etap, which is again cleaning plus putting protection.
Protection?
Yeah. He prepared the samples to you. This is already the aluminum with this protection. It's ready to be painted.
Okay, so
Clean,
the protection goes on
protection,
before.
and it's ready to
painting.
be painted.
And is it a painting or is it a powder coat?
We say painting, but this is powder
It's a
coat.
powder coating?
It is.
Okay.
Powder coating. Yeah. Electro powder coating. The third one etap, it's a oven,
Okay.
which is how much temperature? 190 Celsius.
Celsius.
Very, very hot. For more efficiency, it's a double oven. For small parts, they close and they use only this
Only
part.
half of
For
it?
very long
Okay.
product, they use all 8,
Yeah.
9 meter dimension. This is this extra wall, which we take out. So now it's working like one big oven.
Very interesting. So they're preparing the aluminum before, put a protection on it, obviously clean it very well before, and then it gets in here and they basically cook it in an oven. So it's a powder coating. You can see it happening, and it happens with like an electrolysis, which allows it to wrap around the aluminum and paint basically all sides of it. So it's not like painting a car.
So
done
it's
with electricity.
already with the first layer, which is support layer. Now they put the main layer. We can open a little bit or not.
Yes, yeah.
If you want to go from far, because it's electrical static, so it shouldn't
really fly away, right?
bother you. This is after oven. It's very warm. So this is first layer, always the same color. The main one layer is the final.
So they just finished it. This came out of the spray booth, and you can see it's like a matte black finish. It's like an impossible black color. Never seen it like that. I assume it takes some sort of gloss over top of it just to finish it off, whether you're gonna do a gloss black or a satin black. So this takes a finish after this? Or?
This is not final yet. When it's paint, it needs to go again to the oven.
Again to the oven.
12 minutes, 190 Celsius degrees should be this solid version.
So it goes in the oven before it's painted
Yes,
and after it's painted?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you feel like
in there.
home. You feel like home. If somebody do bad quality, they close him
Throw 'em in there?
for a few minutes here.
Won't last very long in there.
Now you can see the final product, which is ready to quality inspection.
So this is a satin black.
Okay, so they need like 15-20 minutes to cool down, and then when it's ready, go here, checking, wrap the foil, and ready to go to the warehouse.
They get a little sample here on every set that comes out, and they have a chemist basically that grabs this, puts it under different conditions, and basically tests this specific finish, this batch, this paint, to see if anything occurs with it. If something negative were to occur, they have this matched with this set right here, and they know that they're probably gonna have problems before they even get a complaint from the manufacturer or the end user. That is going above and beyond, and I've never seen anybody do anything like that before.
So some final material for Axopar before quality control. When the product is approved by two ladies, they prepare and the cover to not damage to during the transportation.
Oh, nice. Basically put these noodles that we're used to seeing in pools and stuff like that, cut them open, wrap them up, tape it, full protection all the way through transport, depending on where it's going. And this is basically going to the facility where it's going to be installed on the Axopar?
Sometimes it's going for very short to the warehouse, usually straight to the production.
Yeah. And you wrap all this and protect all this just to
Yeah,
send it right there?
even if it's like 300 meters, this is the standard, because if you not do that, you can have 40%, 30% chance it will be damaged.
Oh, wow.
We do high quality, so we do high quality. And we have salt box testing.
That's where the samples go.
Yes. Sea environment.
Sea environment?
Yes.
That's-
And how long you keep? 1,000 hours need to be sitting here, then it's done.
Wow.
You are sure nothing happened. We have a gel coat, We check the wood for W43, gel coat, and everything what is outside on the boat and will be a lot of salt, that kind of environment. And of course, they keep the documentation from first day when they start. This is the place when the manager show for the people where they are, what they do, what is the common problems, how many days without bad surprise. We have monthly painting, efficiency. Yeah. We can see the maximum dimension, what part we can go with the long, wide and high. So with the double oven, you can have 8-meter tree in a one piece.
Right.
Potential colors, what we was using during last 3 years, not even. When we postponed that department, of course we can paint different, but that was already what we was working on it. Yeah.
That's the whole thing? Okay.
It is some support here. It's support for this.
Tutaj wiesz, jakieś kratki pomalowane, tak?
They prepare, they cleaning, they repairing some small things if it's needed.
Oh, okay. So we're in the tooling department, and I just wanted to show you the ladies hard at work, and they say 90% of the workforce here in this tooling department is actually are women. So they have that detailed touch, and you can see they're almost working in unison. I even gave it a try for a second. We really can't get into too much detail here though, because a lot of this work is conceptual, new models for new brands, and they don't want that information getting out, but definitely wanted to show you the work that goes into the tooling here. It's been unbelievably impressive. Here we have the workshop, the woodworking area where they fabricate just about anything and everything for the brands that they produce here and some outside of the partners that they have here. But Axopar, Sea Ray, Bayliner, Exo, any sort of woodwork that they have, tables, steps, all is fabricated in here, and you can see how extensive the capability is of this place. Absolutely amazing. Look at the natural wood. I can see this being a top at my house, let alone inside one of these boats. So it's pretty impressive. It's not fake stuff. A lot of it is pretty solid, you know, different types of wood, walnuts, and it's all decided upon by the manufacturer and what they want to include on their boat specifically.
Old Axopar 28. That was the foot support for Axopar before. The same solid stuff, very heavy, but nothing should be happen with that kind of material
piece of wood
during years. It's walnut.
Walnut. That's the footrest of the helm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here we have support laminate, strengthens pieces. So all of that are needed to be prepared, put on a box and sent for the production.
It's quite the wood shop.
There it's a small warehouse. When everything prepared, the car come and they take the material delivery for the shipyard. You saw that on the ibex. The same with the wood. Do not have straight angles because this is for laminate.
Oh, okay.
So the angle is that laminate will not go well.
Right.
When it's that laminate
Angle
will well. Here it's the same assembly. For example, this is the table.
Oh, okay.
320? Yeah, for Series 320. So the same solid stuff, whatever material they want, we do. It's not our decision what kind of material they
choose everything.
They choose, yes. We buy material, we prepare,
We make recommendations on what?
Yes, after
what you
so
from
many
your
experience years, yes. But
Yeah.
usually always the final words have the
Come from the manufacturer.
the owner of the brand.
Sure.
Main wood shop. It's a big machine, and when it's full job, we use two. If
Okay.
it's less job, we use only one. But this is support. If something happens, do not stop the production. We
Bring on the backup machine.
we run the second one. We cut the foam, but mainly we cut the play with here. Little bit of plastic.
You guys have a lot of CNC machines on this property.
Where it needed to be, it is.
Yeah.
But if you need to do handmade job, it needs to be handmade job.
Well, you can definitely see we've seen probably 10 CNC machines, if not more, from the tooling areas to the woodworking shop. You know, they don't cut any corners. If they can implement a piece of machinery, a tool to do the job better, they do. And then they have the 5-axis machines. They have the small one, a mid-size one, and then the full-size one, obviously to create the plugs for their mold building, which unfortunately we couldn't show you in tremendous detail. But this place is absolutely ridiculous, and never in my wildest dreams did I even think a place like this existed. So it was a big surprise when we heard about it, and this happened when we met Sylvia over in Cannes, France. We heard about the place, and that's how the whole thing came in motion some time ago. And here we are in Poland checking out the actual facility. So super impressive, and my mind is just going nuts with all kinds of possibilities that can occur with some of the companies we work with and this manufacturing facility.
Full laminate, you will see the best way in Axopar building, which we named Ślepsk 3. We postponed that new building around 6 years ago. It's the last part of wood shop. It's only finishing, some small galleys and small furnitures, which we have. So it's a little bit imagination. You can see some part of the walls, some part of the that kind of parts that they use to deliver sub-product. This is, for example, Bayliner Sierra 855.
Pretty elaborate cabinetry.
The warehouse bring them small materials, metal parts, and they use them. Then when they fill up all the material, they put information in the ERP system, and somebody come and take what they need.
Right.
Here we have Quicksilver 905.
What kind of material is this?
This is waterproof plywood with laminate furniture on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the laminate furniture on it. Just across the white line, you maybe didn't notice that, but this is already another one shipyard which we named Ślepsk 3. And for today, this shipyard is only prepared for Axopar product. Okay. It's one big building for all departments. We have lamination, we have maintenance, cutting, assembly, pre-assembly, warehouse. Everything is the same space. I will show you a little bit of everything. Come on and see.
All right. I already see a bunch of Axopars behind us there.
Yes, so...
Those are packed and ready for delivery?
Yeah, so here, it's a place when we have rare laminate waiting in a queue, waiting for production slots. And already some finished Axopar waiting to be transported and sent to Europe and of course the States, Australia and other parts of the world.
Let's check it out. I've been excited about this area. Again, you say you guys build about 800?
Not in only this building.
Right, we've seen another in some of the other.
Yes, close to. We have something which I didn't show you yesterday. We have in all company, we have areas when the managers have their own responsibility, which we count. Every 1-2 days we count and we put the points. It's a 5S system. This place is 55. The responsibility guy is Truszkowski, it's a manager. So whatever happened here, we know who is the guy who is should be the boss of this area.
Okay.
In the one part of building, you have positioned everything which we name it laminate, more or less. Right. So you have real laminate, you have gel coat painted, you have small parts, big part, cutting, preparing the laminates. And that is what we name laminate generally.
Okay.
Yeah. So here it's a cutting place, which we will show you today. You see here not the line production laminate, but the stations. So all stations have their own brigade and the foreman. The brigade can be 3 person, the brigade can be 12 person. It depends on the size and amount of the job, what the people need to done. Each boat in the right, you see most of them, it's a 370 Axopar. So you see how many molds we need to have to make it amount 7-8 boats, 37 per week.
Oh, wow. Well, we did see that in the other location that they were actually creating new molds for Axopar. Me thinking it could have been a different model, it was not the case. They were actually creating another mold for, I think it was a 29. So you can see the 37 here. I don't know, there's like 5 or 6 37 molds back to back to back to back. And that's what's required, as Michael was telling us, to be able to get the production that they need to put out weekly. Well, actually over here, before we continue, this looks like a stringer system, correct?
See, yes.
So they have their own molded stringer system.
Yeah.
You don't
You
see this
the mold
on
there.
Oh, okay, that's the mold right over there. You don't see this on every boat, but it's pretty interesting to be able to have this made out of fiberglass and really have no foam coring underneath. What's nice is they can run rigging underneath these holes, and when this gets sandwiched in, it becomes a solid piece and it's all laminated together. We've seen this on a couple of different boat models. I did not know that Axopar took this route, but it's actually really nice to see this. This is an extra step and really makes things, you know, nice when in regards to the stringer and bulkhead system. So here we have the actual mold of the stringer bulkhead system, and over to the right you can see that they're laying one up on another mold, so they have multiple molds for this as well. Again, to be able to keep up with this kind of production, you need multiple molds. There's no way that they put out these numbers with one set of molds.
When we have that kind of production, which is a lot of production, which is a lot of job, a lot of people, we use this mask and these big machines which change 6 to 8 times per hour the air in all places. In some stations, when it's needed to have full cover, like in cutting place or in a gel coat place where it's really tough, the people need to be proof like that. Yeah,
Just like that, yep.
yeah. 90% of our production is handmade laminate. It's look like that. This is what we do since beginning. We believe this is the best way of strengthnesses and weights. Only in very few parts we use a chop gun, which is some partners want to do, and it's okay, but usually it's some hatches, some small parts.
Right.
We never use a chop gun for structure things, for hulls, for decks. This is always handmade or infusion.
Does Axopar infuse any of their parts?
So we have Axopar 45 now, which we already do. This is, for us, it's a prototype, so we already do that in the hull. It's full infused. We will
So
show
45
you
is the first one?
later. So 45 is for us. What we do for Axopar in infusion, it's the first one.
Okay.
Before it was always do only by hand. I think we will go to see all the etaps, because this part, it's a left side. Oh, now you see the humidity is going,
Yeah.
the water, to create better atmosphere and go down with possibility of anti-static when it's too much electricity.
Right.
Because molds are very static, electrical static. So you do that one per half of hour, and then you have this humidity around 70%.
That's very interesting to see. I mean, we've been to a lot of factories where nobody, you know, people don't take that into consideration at all.
You see
But
how it's working now. Yeah, it's automatically.
it's impressive to actually see that in action.
Yeah. How much strengthnesses, how many strengthnesses it's needed to be, like plywood, coremat, the other stuff which is create strengthnesses for each part of the boat. This is Irex, what we call. When it's flat, it's okay. When it's a little bit angles, we use this one, pre-cut,
Right.
so it's
Can bend.
different way lay on.
And these little pieces of
For later connection for wires, you screw and you put the wires, and they keep in the space.
So
If
it's a
not
backing
that,
for the wire?
yeah. Then if not this, the wires can flop. You have aluminium supports when it's needed to have very strong place. So the same here, aluminium probably for cleats most of all, or railings. So all molds, what you see here, we do ourselves in our company.
You've created all the Axopar molds
Yes.
since the beginning?
Yes, so this is a little bit etap before. Here you see a little bit more. Here you see just they start to put the strengthnesses for the wires. What you already see in the right side, we have big parts. In the left side, we have small parts like roofs, hatches. This is the place when every few days, director met with foremen and managers, and they talk about production plan, about efficiency, quality, what the most problem production have, and so on, so on. This is nice to see how accurate the handmade laminate is. So very often they use headlights to see if somewhere they leave free space or something
air void
like that. So it's much more time consuming than chop gun, but it's completely different story on the end.
Sure.
Strengthnesses and lights.
I see they get into every single little corner there to make sure that they, so it is time consuming.
You need to use that kind of rollers, tools. For applied resin and mat, you use the different one, but to take out the air, they use the metal ones.
Oh, okay.
Which give you better finishing of the corners.
All right, you can apply more pressure to...
You can see what is the difference when you use that kind of rolls. It's the best tool what we know to take out the air and finishing the corners.
One thing I've noticed is every station that we've been at here at this facility, you have several men and women that seem to take a lot of interest and care in the product. They go through every little nook and cranny to make sure it is perfect. There's times that we've been to facilities we won't name and people kind of just go through the motion quickly just to get the job done. This is a labor of love, as you can see, to go through every little piece, pass through it with the standard roller, and then they come after the fact with the metal roller to make sure they get every single potential air void out of the lamination, and they jam it into every nook and cranny, every corner with a bit of pressure, which is nice to see. And you usually have 5, 6, 7, 8 people at each station doing this type of work, so they go through it pretty quickly.
Here we have one of painting area. We apply the gel coat. When it's working, we close the curtains, and then everything which is spraying here stay here.
Right.
Here people need to work in full protection. Here we have a hole. You can see how they finishing. The same story like with the deck. They apply with the soft coat, then they use the metal rollers to take out the air and connect all corners.
Once again, you can see that there's 8 people working on this hull at one time, so everyone has their own section and seem like they're dedicated to it, and they go through it very thoroughly, but quickly at the same time. Obviously, that's what you need to be able to go in such numbers and volume like Axopar produces.
For people for big bars like hulls and decks, it's usually not more than 12 people in one brigade.
That's a good amount of people.
So sometimes it's a team of most of the women's. This brigade, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, only 2 women's. It depends. We mix sometimes. It's really depends. It's nothing, nothing the same. Each team, it's different.
The thing that's really nice too is that it seems like everyone that's working here is happy to work here. They're all in good moods. They all say hello. They shake your hand when they meet you. But good energy, good spirits going on here. And again, I don't know how many people we've met already that have been working at this facility somewhere for 20, 30 years, which is not common. I'm telling you about 15, 20 people we've met that have been 20 plus years working here, and I'm sure there's many more. It's a testament to the company, and again, they have a passion for it. They seem to enjoy what they're doing. If not, you wouldn't be working here for that kind of time period.
Gel coat.
Oh, okay.
Ready to be putting laminates. They will probably start on this fall in the next few hours. We move the molds. When we take out the laminate, we put the mold. Oh, you see already again the humidity it's going. So maybe not every half of hour, every 20 minutes. When the mold is ready and clean, we go for the apply the gel coat. The specialists apply the gel coat. They bring again the mold here, and the laminate department take care of the layers. Some other department prepare the rare material for them, and they can work. We have a machine who apply the resin. It depends of the stages or the etap of the job. Sometimes you apply the resin, only the resin, which is easier. Sometimes you just need to use the bucket and apply by hand. It depends what you need. So all molds what we have are on the wheels, so we can move them, and then we can bring them to the gel coat place, apply the gel coat, and come back here. We was thinking in the future to do line laminate, but it's not now. Now it's what we know the best, it's this station. Now you see, it's like 2 minutes, and
Yeah.
all these pipes and the wall this side and the wall that side, it's changing the air. You still feel it's a laminate, but it should change, like I say, 6, 8 times per hour, all the air. In this moment, it will be a little bit tough to apply by raising by machine, so they apply raising
This layer by hand.
by hand. Yes, it's easier when you have the mold like this and you use long rollers, but you are not so accurate. So we use this philosophy. We turn on the mold and the people almost go in to it. Then you can have different pressure on so short roller, not like somebody do this. It's okay, but not perfect.
Right, this is better. And you can see everyone's wearing masks. Obviously in a lamination shop like this, the smell of resin and chemicals can be very strong, but they have a system in place which cycles the air to new air every 8 minutes, I think he said. Besides the humidity factor, it is cycling. So I've been in a lot of factories and the smell can get pretty strong to the point where you can't even stand it. You're gonna get a headache, you gotta leave the room. It really doesn't smell very strong in here, so you can feel that system working.
Here you have a etap when they just apply a little bit of laminate and it's start to be strengthened. So they, to not lose the time, they go for another one mold. Because now the chemical processes need to be wait a little bit. There is the place when somebody prepare the rare material. They have orders. They know what they need to prepare for which model for what day. So they prepare, they cut, they put the information, what is the exactly part of a material, and from there the people can come and take what they need. Even this small,
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Not too much important, you can think. They are vertical cutting because of better laminate.
Yep.
The devil in it.
No detail. I mean, this could easily be a piece of foam that you do not angle because people assume that it's small and the air void might be tiny, but they take the step to angle these corners even on the smallest pieces of foam, which I definitely appreciate.
Benek is another one of many people who work with us from the beginning. Benek worked 35 years, 35 od początku. So Benek is a manager of prototyping. He's 35 years with us. He is now even on retirement, but half of the etap he worked with us still.
Oh, really?
People are precious.
That's amazing.
Bardzo, dziękuję.
Very nice to meet you.
So here you see everything what is scraps here. We have dedicated place, different kind of material. Another one big blue box, which we do the trash when it's cutting scraps. How you say that? Scraps.
Yeah.
We have another one, and our job is only to put that there, and after the professional company come and take it and distribute. These machines are connecting to the cutting place to take out the dust. So you will show the cutting area now.
It's a serious machine. Again, it's just extra steps which are added cost to them, but it creates a nice working atmosphere here for people. And like you mentioned, you guys have been...
This is only for this area which is cutted. So this is like vacuum. It's take out the dust.
Out the dust and removes it.
To create not so much dust. How you name in America country where you cut the laminate, you finishing the laminate. It's a cutting laminate, you'd say it?
Cutting, yeah.
Cutting?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will show you that.
Again, that other gentleman been here for 35 years. This whole place started 35 years ago, no?
Yes, yes.
So basically, we've met 2, 3, 4 people that have been here since the beginning of Ślepsk, the overall, and have stayed all the way through. And that gentleman has basically retired, and he's still coming back to work, if you understood. So, I mean, it's rare to see that in the United States, and it's amazing to see so much of that here.
So that is our cutting area.
Okay.
For now, it's nothing happened, but they do twice per day. They take out all the laminate, they clean. When you see these holes in the hole, this is a connection with this big vacuum. They clean, and then they still can work next 4 hours. Cześć Andrzej. Andrzej is a manager of that area. So it's a pretty big space, but when they start, they need to work in few stations at the time. Maybe after 1 hour they will be working, so we will show you a little bit more.
So they completely clean the entire area twice a day?
Twice a day. Then they close all the doors to not create the dust on the different part of production.
Right.
And when they already cut the set, they open the door and they delivery, like you see here, for the production.
Oh, okay. That's great to be able to separate that like they do here, because imagine another facility that may have the cutting happening right in this area will have that dust floating all the way through lamination, which is going to end up in your layup, in your gel coat for hole number 1 that we saw at the end there. It's going to end up in your resin and the fiberglass and everything. So to be able to consolidate that, get that dust picked up and out of the way is huge. And the fact that they clean it twice a day is something that, again, should happen in most facilities. A clean environment is very important, and it just provides a better product, you know, starting over in phase 1.
In the laminates department, we have, like you saw yesterday, we have this special stuff which are using when it's something happen, if something happens. So before the professional
fire department
come, we have our own fire department which is trained, and they can use that special stuff to react in first 5-10 minutes if it's needed, to help put the lower possibility of something more dangerous. I hope it will be never used.
Yeah, hopefully you never need it.
And now we go to another one part of the building, which we name more cleaner because it's assembly and pre-assembly.
The impressive part already, you don't smell any of the resin or gel coat.
No, because
or fumes.
Here you have
just passing from there to here, you don't smell anything.
Yeah, so it is one building, but it's created that way. You have the laminate, what we name, left side, which different manager, and the assembly, pre-assembly, and the right side, which run with the different manager. And all of the building is under one director who run with 180 people in one shift, because we were working in one shift. That is how more or less look the Axopar production on the Ślepsk Street. So
you have individual lines that basically the boat will work its way forward?
So on assembly, we work on the lines. So you not have stations, brigades. You have one brigade which go on one line, another one brigade to take care of the another one line. On the right side, we have pre-assembly small stuff, small material, small pieces of laminate, which they need to deliver after on the main lines.
That's the Miami blue there, is it?
Yeah, we treat them, this part of building, a little bit like a warehouse for production, because they pre-assembly, then delivery like every other material for a main department. Every workers in Ślepsk work on orders of Comarch, which is ERP system, which based on orders from partner. So the warehouse working like that. The sub departments like wood department, windshield department, stainless steel department, all work the same system. And on the end, everything needs to be in the same day, the same place. This is roof stations.
And windshields?
Yes.
Side windows, pilot house doors, everything.
Yeah, so they here they prepare them, and assembly for doors, for another one parts, cabins, some hatches.
It's impressive. There's so many parts that go into, let's say, an Axopar 37, that you have several different Axopar models. You got to organize it all and then get it through that line and make sure you don't miss anything, which is mind-boggling almost to think about. Us considering the volume, 800 plus a year. You know, that's a lot of boats a month you're getting out of this location. Keeping it clean, keeping it organized, and not missing a step.
Okay, so you see, more we go in this direction, more advanced the boats are. All boats have their own documentation, which is going from the start laminate production. They added more document in each etap, and on the end, the quality control guys check if everything is okay, if everything is filled up, and collect documentation for the future. So see, you have the boat which is already wrapped or almost wrapped, and it will be in some hours will be ready to take out. This is final station with the quality control.
This is a Barabus model?
This is Barabus line.
Very interesting to see how they put all this together and do it with such speed and accuracy and quality. Again, you almost assume when they do this much volume that the quality is going to be hindered, but I've seen the exact opposite here. Seeing how some of these individuals work outside of the United States has honestly impressed me more than expected. You know, you always hear things of how things work in the US and you think that it's going to be of some sort of lesser quality if you leave the US, but that's not the case, at least not here.
Serial number of each equipment, like Webasto or something, climatization, engines, so you have, because that is not our producer. If you have engine, it's a Mercury producer, so you need to have them. If something happened, you can follow the documentation and you can find what was the engine, where produced, when produced,
serial numbers and everything,
and so on. This is a copy to leave for us and give share with the partner, Axopar. This is remaining for the dealer. It is depend. Different they give for Europe, different they give for America. This is very, very short information, what remind you, what you need to know, what you need to remember if you are dealer and you want to give the boat for the client. So because of different certification in Europe and different in States, Axopar give that extra knowledge beside the manual, which is much, much more bigger and more detailed. But this is just the pillow of the most important information. This is audit which Axopar do during the production. If they found something, this is documentation which show what they was found. Big things or small things, and of course that is already repaired because it will be not here, but that is the same going to the documentation. If something they found, they repair, and it's happened again after 1 year, we know it was maybe not the perfect way. But this is knowledge which we and Axopar can use for the future to be better. And that is the most of the documentation what we collect on the end of station, and then we can wrap the foil and take boat outside.
Incredibly impressive. What we've been talking about here is that they create like a 60-page boat log of the entire process of this build, going from lamination, from the initial gel coat and the thickness of gel coat that they're spraying there, 5 or 6 quality control checks all the way through, and then every step of the process has a detailed list of the work that's happening on the boat and a signature of the person that worked on it and the approval from the quality control person at the end of it. And then when it gets to the final stage, they go through all this paperwork, check it all again, make sure it's 100% perfect, wrap the boat up and send it out to the dealer. And just imagine doing 800, which I think they do more than that. They're getting 15 to 16 Axopars out of here per week, assuming 52 weeks. So that's only the Axopar line. They're also doing the Sea Rays, they're doing the Bayliners, they're doing a few other models as well. And again, they're doing 3,000 boats. That's 250 boats. Very impressive. It's crazy.
So the upholstery usually coming on the end, like in every other shipyards. So you see, this is some part of the upholstery waiting to be installed on the end. When the boat are ready, they go out. Just the morning they finish one of 37, they take out, and then when the transportation will take more boats from this area, because this is temporary area, it's not our main parking, they will put that boat here. When it's more like 12 or 15 boats, they start to add it to a big parking where the cars coming and take out the boats and delivery.
And these trucks are picking up boats every single day, delivering boats every day?
Yeah. In all Ślepsk we have, like, you know, few times per day they call the boats.
Per day.
So yeah. This is one of few warehouses which Axopar have. We can come and see a little bit of that. It's connecting to the production building. You see on the right the doors, so they have very short way to delivery the parts on the production.
Doing a little bit of math, I was figuring you have to be getting 15 to 16 Axopars out of here per week, which is incredible. Yeah. And then if you're doing 3,000 boats, that's 250 boats a month that you're getting out of here.
When you count that, it seems like crazy, but
60 boats a week leaving this facility.
Yeah,
altogether
what we have, it is like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Again, this is one of few warehouses which Axopar
just
have.
For Axopar.
You see on the back, it's another one there, doors. They deliver by these doors. They deliver small parts for small material. So in Axopar, they have their own staff working on the Axopar. It's our building, but we cooperate with Axopar. We rent that building, and they prepare sets of material for 1-2 days upfront. And when it's signal from production it's needed, it's coming, they deliver for production, ready, prepare sets of material. So with that solution, people who work on the assembly, they don't lose the time, they don't need to go nowhere. even if it's missing something, because it's live, you can have that problem. If it's missing something, they put just the mark on the list of material, what they miss, and the guys from warehouse come, take the empty cage, and they know what is still missing, and they inform the production when they can expect the missing part.
Okay.
If you have, I don't know, maybe 5,000 points of material, it's alive. Always
You're always gonna miss something, of course.
will be missing, but it depends how quick you react on it and how you create solution for that situation. So you see how many the cards are preparing, yeah?
Yeah.
Every card have information what is in it, and that is how it's work every day. We see JL Audio.
So each card is
JL
a separate boat being built
It's
with all of its
it's
parts.
not so much. It's more like separate etap. So for example, for one boat, maybe it's like four cages, but they need to go in the exactly moment for exactly etap. Because today I work on etap 1, I maybe need this one, and you work on etap 2, so you maybe need this cage.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that the way is.
I see. Cover, is this upholstery?
Upholstery department from our family, which delivered their own material. So it's good solution because you see the holes for the rack, so you can take the old basket,
lift it out.
deliver it to the cover, to the upholstery department. They put the material and they can deliver it here. Then you put that like a shelves and you can use it like a box.
Yeah. I assume so many years of doing this through trial and error, you've come up with the solutions that you have in place here. The process obviously looks like it's very fine-tuned at this point.
It is. We have two very good guys from Axopar, Albert Zalewski. It's Alan Blanco
Alan,
from
nice to meet you.
Center Console Only. You probably know them. Jason. Cześć.
Nice to meet
All
you.
right.
Martin.
Alan, nice to meet you.
Martin, Alan, Martin, Jason. Albert talk and show for Alan and Jason what I know about the Axopar story. Another one, pretty new warehouse.
Okay,
which
thank
we
you.
positioned for Axopar a few months ago. And they just fill up with the material. I don't know if you, Martin and Albert, want to say something more about that, but it's mainly the same like you saw in the small one.
Warehouse is a warehouse.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing fancy about that.
Yeah, but good,
Have to be
organized,
safe, and,
safe.
Organized.
Yes, have to be organized.
Dobry.
Have to, locations, barcodes. We start with the mobile warehousing, so scanners. Not like
Very nice.
We are trying to downgrade with the upgrade with efficiency. So to
Sure.
Yeah, and we this is a warehouse is kind of what I always say, the center part of the company. You know, this is where the knowledge
this is
the value
the
is,
heart.
you know.
I always say if the ordering and the inventory is not done correctly, everything else following behind it
Yeah.
falls apart, and it's probably the most important step of the entire boat building process from what I've seen.
Keep an eye on it, on daily basis. Especially, times are, let's say, stabilizing right now. We have to make sure that we are not ordering
Too much
stock
and-
too much.
right.
So, and still, keep up with the orders. So it's have to be a good balance. Yeah.
You can see in the left how much the small things you have.
Oh yeah.
It's just amazing how many.
So when anyone grabs something off the shelf, they scan the code and it keeps a running inventory of the quantities that you have of each item.
If they put anything on the shelf, they scan the code and add it. And it's
Add it or
automatic
subtract it.
system, not like a manual, checkout
Yeah.
and go with the document printout.
No,
to the
too
lady
many SKUs here to keep track of by hand on a piece of paper.
Exactly. So this warehouse, the other warehouse you have seen, there is another tent there. And then we have also location, just recently acquired 2/3 of the shares of the Marcos,
Oh, okay,
a
yes.
big composite company you may know.
I saw that.
And there is a big warehouse as well. So it's quite a big volume,
Sure.
so to say,
How many boats are you building a year now? Or delivering a year?
We are building 1,200 boats,
Okay,
in quantity.
that's what I
But
thought.
we are focusing on this larger units, right? This is what, since we are a global company, building boats and selling boats around the globe.
Right.
Australia, Florida, huge market in US, as you know, they require bigger boats with bigger fuel tanks, for instance. Yeah.
Sure.
And of course, we are still, let's say, trendsetter, building a volume with the good fuel efficiency, and one boat, one world concept. Yeah, this
Right.
is important for us.
Yeah, you've done a great job.
One boat, one concept, one center console only. The same story.
Yep. Similar.
Yeah, soon we are coming in with the center console boat, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. So,
Oh, okay.
No,
That's exciting. I've always respected Jan Erik, and we went to Dusseldorf with him. Spent a lot of time learning about the company and the story behind it, and I've seen the growth from there, and the passion that he has for Axopar is, among the most impressive I've ever seen. Honestly, he's
Jan is of course an engine and the heart of the
he's
the company.
he's at every event. He's
Exactly. He's not only looking from the helicopter. He wants to make sure that everything is done right. From end to end in the project. So this is quite unique approach. Yeah. So he's not dropping the ball and keeping the momentum. So
Right.
That's why this company, it's also where it is today.
And the rapid growth. I mean, it hasn't been around for very long.
You talk about Janevita?
Yeah, no, Vita,
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest pillar of the company. He's working like hell. He's just, I think, amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
amazing person, great authority.
Yeah.
And of course, without Ślepsk, without this company, our OEM, we would not be where we are as well.
yeah.
We've learned that.
We've learned that over the last couple of days. Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible what they do, the way they work, the people surrounding it, the interest everyone has. It seems like there's a lot of good people here and individuals that have been here 20, 30 years. Like I said, we've seen 20 or more that have been here since this company started. We don't see a lot of that in the United States.
We work like big family. It is from the beginning, 10 years. So whatever, if we need some help from Axopar, they help us usually. When they want, like this warehouse was needed pretty quick, so we try to create the extra land and put that in just few months. And
Really?
this is working on both sides.
Yeah,
That is the way of.
You got to work together to make it work.
Partnership is important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So every party is, let's say, happy from the cooperation in the end. Profitability stays on both.
Yeah.
In both companies. This location here, you haven't been here probably before, yeah?
No,
it's
first
the
time.
first time.
You can see when you're driving here, it's not like industrial area.
You're right,
This is
no.
more like touristic, area. There's a lot of forest, a lot of flat land, a lot of lakes, etc. And what is not typical here is that we have all these shipyards and all these producers around. Yeah, smaller, bigger ones. Yeah. And this is really like small town, 35,000 people. But and this business was this cigarette business. Yeah, this is like a filler of our.
It is.
Of our
community.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if the boat market goes down, it's a difficult situation.
Sure.
It's not industrial zone when workers are specialized like in general craftsmanship. This is a very specific segment of skill. And that's why these people are when somebody is needed and we are Ślepsk is a lack of people. We know that there are hundreds of the specialists around.
Right.
So this is good, right, for the market. I mean, and for the specialization. Yeah.
Having a lot of skilled labor in boat building,
Absolutely.
so many in this area, it's very impressive. That's a struggle, at least in South Florida. I know most of the U.S. that a lot of the companies have finding the qualified labor and those people that aren't entitled and they think that they are the best of the best and they want more money than maybe they're worth, and it's just caused a lot of turmoil in the boat building world in the United States. So.
Yeah. I mean, I was there, several times in the US. I know which kind of issues, what kind of issues you are mentioning. It's much more stabilized here, and this is advantage for sure. Yeah. Of course, we have our problems, but still, Poland in general stays on the top of this profitability. It's a balance between skill and profitability and quality of product.
Quality, yeah.
And so Poland, I believe, is second right now.
In the biggest,
quantity
in small boats in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
So definitely we are proud of it. Yeah, as an
Very nice. Should be. Definitely should be. We've been very impressed with everything we've seen so far. upholstery that you guys offer, and this is your sister's business.
Yes, and she's husband. More husband. Sisters work with my mom in the financial in Ślepsk.
Okay.
Her husband Jarek is more chief of that place.
So you said it began in 2001?
2001. So we are on the market about 24 years right now. We operate mainly with Brunswick Group, C-Ray, Bayliner to Silver.
C-Ray there.
Yes. So you can see our work. We can join many pieces of material to create the complete design. So if we receive the particular pieces of the material from a CNC cutting machine, we can join them together. We can make the logo, so we can promote the brand. We can also have some luxury option that the
stitching design.
precision design. So it's up to the client. He can choose the color, the structure of material. So you can see there are many options that can encourage the client to order the upholstery from us.
You guys are doing a lot of boats worth of upholstery a year here, I imagine, no?
Yes, many brands, many boats, many clients.
So you basically do all the brands that you manufacture here, you do the upholstery for all of them?
Yes.
So, and some even which we don't do, the boats, they do for them.
Oh, really?
Like, so more than we do. They have some partners which not cooperate with us.
Okay, understood. How many employees do you have working here?
130 employees
Wow.
working at the moment.
That's impressive. Quite the factory. Well, take us around.
Yeah, take us further and
One of the colors, and you can see the
this kind of
material.
material. I think this is for Axopar. Tak, Jarek, to jest Axopar? New Axopar 29.
New Axopar?
This one of the most popular colors. So you can see right now on the market what is popular, beige and gray.
Light
Yes, yeah. So it's two the
Yeah.
most
It
popular
matches
colors.
with everything.
Yeah. We also collaborate with Axopar brand, and we also have many different colors and possible options.
Keeping all this organized is always the impressive part for me. They're doing, between C-Ray and Axopar alone, I mean, C-Ray's doing 800-900 boats.
Quicksilver boats.
Okay. What is this material?
It's mesh that is used on the back side of the cushion, so
okay.
the water can comes through, and
Oh,
it
okay,
prevents from go soaked with water.
Well, again, Axopar doing 800-900 boats alone. C-Ray, I don't know how many they're doing, but just imagine they're doing most of the boats that are cooperating with the Ślepsk Group, plus a lot of outside work.
Project Nathan boat
Okay.
by Quicksilver, yeah.
Very nice work. These are all the templates.
Yes, we have both templates, paper and electronic. So if some doesn't work, we can check it.
Oh, okay.
We have some models from 10 years even, farther,
Wow.
even more. So if somebody needs, they always can find it. That's a lot.
It happens that the clients return to us and ask about producing, for example, the photos from a few years.
From an older model?
Yeah.
So you keep it all in. That makes sense. So in case you didn't hear that, they keep the paper templates, but they all have it. They have it digital as well. So they keep all the old templates in case someone comes back with a 5-8-year-old boat that wants to be reupholstered. They're able to accomplish that as well.
Okay, and right you can see an example of complete bucket seat.
Full sport seat. This wraps around you. Keeps you like a performance car. It's a really nice seat. Here you can see the foam. This seems to be that exact seat. Are these CNC cut, or how are these cut by hand? How do you create these?
Yes, we cut it and we glue it to the plywood part.
Okay.
So we have many different components that should be combined together, so we can have the complete seat.
And that's plywood underneath there?
Yes.
And that doesn't get affected by the water?
It's a special impregnated.
Impregnated,
substrate that,
got you.
yeah.
Very nice work.
Another bigger parts. It can be folded. So. And we also put our laser, so everybody can identify the product.
Okay. And this is
They
a mesh
can order.
material that allows it to breathe a little bit, maybe let some water out.
Yeah.
I've noticed with some materials on boats we've been on where the water seems to be absorbed. Maybe not so much in this material that doesn't have the ability of allowing water in. Maybe your experience with this that we've sat on some seating on boats and they've been wet from like the day before, a
Yeah.
day or two of raining.
So
Does that-
it's what? Yeah,
That's fine.
okay.
This for you.
You
You need
explain?
to use some covers to protect from water. So,
Covers for the upholstery?
Yeah. Or just I don't know, even the cockpit covers.
Oh, okay.
But I think he asked about something different. I think because we can have two different way of
Special materials that
Yes.
waterproof, but
you can have
It's
which
But most of the time
Water-
water can get into it.
yeah, which water go through and go out, or water not go through. So it depends of the producer or the partner what want the final product. Yeah.
I've always wondered, is it not possible to create some sort of exterior lining on the foam so the foam doesn't absorb water?
there's a specific thing that doesn't absorb. But
Oh, there is?
yeah.
Oh, okay. But that's what I always
Different
noticed.
type of
We've had
foam.
boats ourselves where the foam seems to just stay wet for an extended period of time, which I assume would maybe create mold and other things like that. They've been out in the open without covers, so probably our fault. I've always wondered if there was a possibility of putting an exterior protection on the foam itself so the foam wouldn't absorb water.
You protect the foam in some product by foil.
By foam, by mesh, so the water.
The mesh is,
stay inside the
right, so
cushion.
it can breathe and work its way out. That's a really good idea. Okay.
But still, it's possible to remove the skin and just
Yeah.
foam can be.
I'd like to ask my question about here.
We use many foams. We have the different type of foam, different thickness, density, so you can feel it, you can touch.
This one's it's a little softer. This one's a little. So it's different.
Different class of softnesses. So what you asked for was probably this. They put special foil between foam and upholstery. So then you don't have any water.
Oh, that there? That's kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in final product,
So it
you
seems
will
like it
not
would
see
block
that.
the water from.
Just one of the solutions, but not for many brands.
Right. That's like an additional
Yes, additional protection.
protection that you offer, and Sea Ray chooses it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. If you can block the water from
Yeah.
touching the foam, I think it would solve a lot of those issues that we've come across. That's exactly what I was talking about. So there you go. So for you boat manufacturers, that is an option for you. Just FYI. I think it makes a lot of sense because there's nothing worse than sitting on a boat, taking your family out, maybe going on a night cruise where it rained the night before, and sitting down and soaking your pants or shorts because that water just accumulated from the day before. So that little bit of protection, I think, makes a lot of sense. And this is even on a backrest. It's not on an actual seat. So that's even, going above and beyond. And it's nice to see Sea Ray doing that. The water's not going to sit on a backrest as it would on a bench sheet, on a lounger, where it can just sit and just seep in. But they're going an extra step, putting it on a backrest as well.
If they want to choose the different colors,
So you really
different patterns.
can have everything what you send in the files, and they have machine.
They can create everything.
Yeah, more or less everything.
The diamond pattern.
Do you guys mainly do embroidered logos, or do you also do the
Yes, we
like
have
that?
the machine that have a puzzle for you. Just create the. Could you please create a name for this pattern? This one, because this one is the diamond pattern, honeycomb pattern, and.
You don't have a name for that one?
No,
No.
no.
That looks like that almost looks like your pulse on a like doing a cardio thing where it's showing your heartbeat. Maybe you come up with something there.
When you drive, that's more than
Someone has a really problematic pulse.
You have more force when you drive. Yeah.
There you go.
Our workers thought about, for example, sweets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some type of sweets.
Oh, okay, yeah. The
And another,
Tootsie Roll
yeah,
with the twisted ends there.
Another is connected with sausages, for example.
Oh, okay. Sausage links. maybe a little less exciting, but we can call it the sausage link as well. Many options it can go. Maybe we can ask the
break, so it's some
So if you're watching the video and you've made it to this part, try to give that a name. Let's put it down in the comments and we're gonna pass it along. See if we can name the Sea Ray quilt pattern. Let's put a name on that. Drop it in the comments below.
Okay.
See if we can come up with something for you.
Okay, so everything starts here with the machine that can cut a few layers of vinyl for harvest. And here is the layout and the number of possible pieces that will be cut.
So it's all laid out there and cut automatically on something.
And here you can put the carpet, it's unrolled and is.
So it cuts vinyl, cuts carpet, foam as well. So there you
The
go.
quality is very good and it's repetitive due to the fact that we have the machine that can.
Yeah. Well, when you're doing the quantities that you all are doing, you know, doing it by hand obviously is not very efficient. Then you get, you know, no way to get around the human error cutting things by hand. So this, you get every single product identical and to the same high quality. You get the quilt pattern being done there as well. Did you ever do this by hand? Is this ever something done by hand, these quilt patterns?
Some others can be done, but
Really?
we need to use the machine.
Oh, here you go. This is a finished product of that design that they're doing. Basically a single diamond stitch. So any design that a manufacturer sends over can think up can be put into that machine, and that's all it takes. So you can get as creative as you want with this.
Engineering supporting, yes.
All paper templates are converted into electronic form, and then we can put them on CNC cutting machine.
Oh, okay.
They will cut in a few layers at the same time. How many layers you can cut? 10?
Depends on the thickness of material.
But more or less?
7, 10.
7, 10, okay, in the same time. Good.
We use the top quality materials, so umbrella,
Umbrella? Okay.
yes, for canvases.
Oh, okay. So you do canvas enclosure. I see bimini tops over there. You do full boat covers as well? So as you can see, this is a full service facility. They can do anything when it comes to upholstery, canvas tops, bimini tops, full boat enclosures, and they work with a ton of brands. So this place seems to keep going and going. It's very impressive to see it in action. And obviously they have a ton of great quality workers in here working for them. This has been here 2001, you said, when it started? Okay.
We doesn't waste anything, so we are eco-friendly. Everything is used
Okay.
I use a second line.
Oh, really?
second life.
So this is coming off of where?
From the materials that cannot be used in the production again, so we can use it for another
Oh, okay.
application.
So you don't waste anything.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, yeah, the foam.
The foam.
That's
So the second machine.
Whoa. The thing is quick. Gotta be on your toes here. As you can see, it's cutting foam. This is a light material, so this also has a vacuum underneath, I imagine. So the vacuum holds it exactly in place, and it cuts every piece perfectly every single time. So again, you get all the efficiency that you want, and then the perfect every single time. No beautiful. You gotta stay out of the way of this thing because it will run you over. Not paying attention.
You can take and see now what is.
You set it up on the sheet, I'm sure to make sure you have the least amount of waste
Yeah.
possible. There you have it, the finished piece.
So you can see that it's a very complex product due to all
Yeah.
the shades.
Perfect cuts, really nice. This is another CNC machine. They cut more vinyl here, so this is just a secondary facility.
Yes.
This came after that one.
Yes.
Okay,
After.
so you expanded, grew into another area, and
Yes, and we expanded our capacity, so
Okay.
we can produce more.
sure. I see what the amount of work that you do just with the boats that are being built here is. It's got to be impressive, and then outside work on top of that. It's a good-sized facility, but it seems like you do a lot with not even that huge of a space, that big of a space.
Yes.
So you have to be very organized and efficient to be able to do that.
Why this really is necessary because we need much more space.
Sure. Good to see the growth.
The material is just depend the client one. Color, the class of material, you can have more or less everything in the market. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a layout of practical pieces.
Show you how to video sometime.
One layer CNC machine for special projects for P&A orders. if we don't need the serial production, so a few layers, it's just one layer.
Okay.
So it's possible.
You guys have a lot of equipment here.
I will show you material which they use the Brabus, very high class material.
Leather that is used for Brabus project.
This is real leather?
Yeah.
Is it a marine grade material?
Yeah, it's the marine version of leather.
So this is the material sent by Barabus over to this facility for them to manufacture it, put the quilting pattern, and build the part. And that's a marine grade leather. Looks like to be a gray material. Wow.
It is exactly.
No, it's just the skin, so it's
Not real elephant, just for you guys that are in it. Nice. Very nice.
Here you see the. You know why we name pater? Because it's in Latina it's father, and it's normally it's W43, but in company everyone say pater because like my father.
Oh, really?
So because this was first of
Oh,
Joseph,
that's
business plan both.
Uh-huh.
So everyone say pater,
Okay.
but the marketing way is W43.
Interesting. Good to know the story.
Yeah, the first place, pater. So when you start, before we didn't know what name will be. We named like job name was pater.
one of the cabinet that we upholster with the material. So we received the
For Axopar?
yes, Axopar. We received the wooden part from Ślepsk, and then we can upholster the vinyl.
Ah, very interesting to see it all come together. How it comes together. That's how some of the fancy cabinetry from Axopar comes together. So here we have another CNC machine. This is routing out PVC material, so they vacuum out, you know, all the remnants and then the rest falls to the floor. You can see it in action.
Shape of the bottom.
You create this as
Yes,
well?
yes.
This is what, a plastic?
Just to install the part, so you can have the specific place of location.
Turns the, this is the backing for the, like combing bolster or something like that, a backrest. Is that what happens to the elephant skin once it's cleaned up and? Oh, this is a. This is a.
Second side, it's a foam.
Oh, foam.
Yes, it's used to make the quilted pattern. So we
Oh, okay.
put the foam.
This is the backing
Yes, it's
to give it that puffy finish. Oh, okay, okay.
That's even more.
I can see some of it happening there. For those of you that don't know, that little fluffy material goes as a backing, so that's what gives it that finish in the areas that are not stitched. So it's a comfortable feel, and that gives it that 3D look.
3D effect.
Very nice. This blue color is beautiful too. This is, it is. The embroidery machines at work doing the logos. We got a few Sea Ray logos. A couple of Sea Ray logos. Very nice. That's a stitch count, 6,676.
Piping, what you can use, what they use temporary. You of course can have much more different, but it's just what they use now.
Right. So you can see this contraption right here was basically made to mark the material so they can do this upholstery stitching pattern by hand. So if you can see it underneath, there's some lines. She was marking it. They kind of missed it, but she's setting that in place. She's gonna flip it over right now. And on the other side, basically just mark each line, and then they'll come back and stitch these by hand, which I think is crazy. Look at that. Cool little template, and make sure they're the same every single time. What moment would you do this by hand instead of using the machines? Is there any reason why?
It's just if the machine is busy, we can have another
okay,
solution.
just to add on to it.
And manual hand is also valuable if you have
If
such
they're good,
work.
it looks just as good as the machine.
Yes, and then the ladies take those pieces of material and use the sewing machine just to
Do
make
it by hand.
Yes.
Look at that.
And you can see the different colors and the patterns.
You have to have a pretty steady hand to be able to do that like that as well. Pretty perfect straight line.
Victor is director of this facility. He have 2 managers, one for laminate, one for assembly. The same story like other places. So you see, it's even we don't finish yet everything, but it just will be soon. Now we are on the end of our trip. It's the last shipyard, which we just postponed it a few weeks ago. It's named Ślepsk 5. It's full working inside. Outside, we still need to maintenance something. It's the biggest and the highest building what we have in our company, especially prepared for future big boats up to 50, maybe 52 feet. So that big like we can transport. For now, we have start production of W43 here. We start to produce the first prototype in our company, Axopar 45, and we have some temporary small 29 Axopars.
So you just finished this 2 weeks ago, I hear. So we got lucky that we're catching this at the beginning stages as it's basically getting set up. So
brand new. So one big difference is here we have the taller building. If we have, for example, some orders for flybridge or big high boats, so that facility is exactly for it. So in the right side, we have big part of laminate. Now the people prepare the surface. You can see this is very important etap before you start putting the gel coat. They need to prepare mold without any dust. They do that with lights.
It's a tough job to get that clean where there's no dust at all on it.
And they put the pasta, which will give you more easy to take out later the laminate.
The wax?
Wax.
So yeah, they spend quite a bit of time cleaning every speckle of dust off this thing, and then they have to hit it with a few layers, a certain amount of layers of wax. To be able to get that part off.
Nice story to show Janek,
Alan, nice
Jason. So Janek worked with us the same very long time, but you didn't see that before. Janek helped to train the new people, which is an experienced guy who is part of the manager, and now he joined to the project to train the new guy and explain how to work with them. About 30 years.
30 years.
So again, good sample of experienced guy.
That's amazing. So between everybody, they have 15,000 years of experience at these locations. Very nice to meet you.
Okay, this is the place where we do the gel coat paint. The same story, when they paint, they close the curtains. They have their own changing air system, machines for putting the gel coat. The same story, all molds are on the wheels. So we just bring them here, do the job and taking out.
Slide them out. And that's a W43?
It was our second stage, but we do that too slow. We do that not enough good with the etaps, so we damaged the laminate. We was thinking in one moment to do something with that repair, but we decided the quality needs to be the best, so we will throw out all of this and we will start again.
Oh wow!
You know,
really?
This is still prototyping. The first one was perfect, the second was go okay, but in some moment we see one side start to go out too early from the mold, and we will take out maybe, I don't know, 100,000 zlotys maybe because of this mistake. But if it's need to bring bad quality in the future, we decide to crash that.
Wow.
That is the story.
Just one skin, so around 400 kilograms of scrap.
It's a tough choice.
Showing the new people.
Oh, okay. So the first people we see here that have not been here 25, 30 years are right behind me. The new group being trained in this new facility. And like you mentioned, this was a W43, their own brand that they're building, hole number 2, and they had some issues in the lamination process. So they had a part detached from the mold too early. They weren't happy with it, so instead of trying to repair it, they're gonna scrap it altogether, throw that whole thing away, and do it right. So it says a lot about what you guys are building here. There's not a lot of people that would throw away a part at that stage and lose 100 grand or more because they're focused on quality like that. So, yes. Wow.
Here we have a deck of the W43, which is in a heating place when we can do the putting the lacquer. Victor is a very good experienced guy on this stage. He can explain you more detailedly. Please go.
Okay.
We have this deck after 12 hours of curing in 60 degrees. We start at the first stage. Next week we will start with grinding and base paint. After that, paint and transparent paint on top. So the final.
What color is this? The color that this boat's gonna end up?
It will be 5014 RAL number. We will use Sherwin-Williams paint. I would say top quality.
It's a nice color. This one will be sharp.
Stay the same. So Some of the areas will stay in gel coat, like the technical areas, like inside the hatches or the fender boxes, but the top layer will be painted. This is, everything here we are just starting, so everything is ramping up. This is first time when we are, starting with the paint shop in Ślepsk. We are training the people, we are, preparing the technology, the materials, everything. So quite new for us, quite for Ślepsk.
So what temperature you need to have here?
60 degrees, 12 hours.
60 degrees, 12 hours, okay.
It's hard enough and ready to paint. Every bubbles under the gel coat appear. We can see something is wrong or good. But
Okay.
for now it's okay. There's no any issues with the GAP. We will green it and paint it.
Here we can produce until 50 feet, maybe 52, we are not sure. And of course in this place we can fit in the same 50 feet deck or hall, so we are ready for the big boats for us. Yeah.
Right.
It's still just brand new. We just start to work on it on this place. We just finished maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So we can see the mold of W43. I like to show that kind of product because I love to show this. Here you have some of the documentation, which is nice to see. That is documentation of lamination of hull created by J&J company. We was working with them, so that is already checking many times after the first prototype. It's have all the most important information what the foreman and the managers and the people, the team needed. So that is how it's look more or less. The documentation of the hull, only the hull of course, for the W43. You see here the documentation of stairs inside, which it will be. Everything is prepared by J&J from the point of engineering and recount. This is a platform. Now we can see the mold.
It's amazing how much goes into it.
It is.
It almost makes it seem even crazier that just not too long ago, and maybe some people even now create these boats by hand.
So the curious thing is, in some places we have even 26 layers, like handmade. So that is why we are so sure the hull of the W43 is very strong, pretty light, because handmade laminate is much better than the chop gun. It's not so tiny and not so light like in full infusion, but it's between them. So that is the hull, the two-step hull of W43.
Wow.
The mold was prepared by us.
Seems so big when you look at it from here. Look at this. Always impressive to see. What's the beam of the...
373 meter, 3.73.
3.73 meters.
When you will start to paint this mold?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
To put the inserts.
Okay.
Here there's open.
They need to be inserts for the terraces.
Yeah. So we need to glue it in, seal it in, and then we can start painting on gel coat and first skin lamination.
And they think it will be around 4 weeks, maybe either 3.5 weeks job. The later boats will be boat number 5 or 6 will be quicker, but now it's still a little bit of etap of finishing prototyping, so around 4 weeks needed to be.
All right, still figuring things out, making adjustments, and that's...
Yes.
Yeah, again, for hole number 1 that we saw there, you guys did a nice job with it.
Yeah. They are cover molds which will be used later. They are in offices checking mails. They
can keep an eye on everyone.
What is happening here. I forget about cutting place. So this is the same story like Ślepsk 3. You see?
Yeah.
The air going. Now you see how they're working. This is going through down.
So that's them actually cutting. Check out the suits that they're wearing to be able to not suck up this dust. And again, the air system is throwing the wind and breeze downward so that dust actually can get sucked up by these grids down on the floor. Pretty serious suits they have on there.
Little bit more powerful because we have lower space than Ślepsk 3 because not so much bolts but bigger size.
Right. More.
But the same story everywhere and pushing area.
Yeah.
Pushing air.
The air downward.
And here everyone needs to do the like full combination.
Pretty serious suit.
The place need to be closed, like here. When we don't do anything like sanding or something, it's an open space. We don't use the doors, but here it needs to be closed.
Yeah, sure, especially when they're working on taking the dust off of the mold over on the other side of the building. Yes. You don't want that dust flying around.
Here you can see it's now training the people by crane.
Yeah. So these are all new employees?
No, but they have Some may be new, but more or less they are existing one, but they have temporary trainings.
Oh, okay.
How to use safety the cradles.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
I don't know how to explain. The IT and safety department.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay,
So
okay.
they show what to do. They explain what is wrong, what is bad,
Yeah.
what is good. We come to the part of assembly. We just started a few weeks ago, so it's still pretty a lot of space. They have some quality training probably, or engineering training. So more or less the same story. You have etaps, you have lines. This is one line, here will be the W43. On the end we have a testing pool. We have a line between when you can move. This is for moving the cards. And more farther we go, more advanced we have. So W43 in few days will come with first for Axopar 45. We will have here the big boats in the left. And until some new big model will show up, we do support Axopar with the amount of production.
You're basically building Axopars everywhere because you're building so many.
Yeah,
Out of all the
Axopar
companies,
have a lot
you
of
build more
orders.
Axopars than
So,
any other
so
brand
before
right now.
not, but when now it's a little bit slowed down with the production and we have some empty space, we try to fill up with the orders of other brands what they have.
Oh, okay.
We have a big testing pool, the same prepared for 50 feet, which you really can swim if it's in water, the first water, yeah. It's pretty big. It's 5.5 meter wide, so you can build boat up to 5 meter wide, which is a lot.
That's a big boat. Yeah.
And yeah, more you will really have a problem to transport. So that is reasonable size which you can produce and transport through the Europe.
Right.
So for now we are assembling 129 per week.
129 per week.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Okay.
in the future we will start with the butter.
Yeah.
The 43 assembly here. Probably next week or week we start the first stage.
And Axopar 45. So
45.
probably after 3 weeks we will have much more busy.
And we will be mainly focused on the bigger boats as we plan.
Yeah.
Very nice building.
Yeah, it just show up. It just show up. We create a little bit different cradles, which the hook go into to have to have maximum height. Yes, because if normal, it will be 1 meter lower. So not every fly bridge, big fly bridge, we can do that. But now when we have that solution, you have like maybe 7 meter clear working area, which is 7 meters for everything.
Yeah.
Really. It's 6 and 3 and 6 and 3, so it's 12 and a 6. You can put on one. If you will have in the future a big one, you can use both. Use our own sun energy.
Okay.
We have more and more of them. We have already 3 spaces in Ślepsk when we use them, and now it will be 4th one. And if it will be still so good, we will probably do more. We have a lot of roofs in Ślepsk, so we go more and more. And that's the story. Yeah.
You got a lot of roof square meters
Yeah.
to be able to utilize solar panels. You see that they generate enough energy to run some.
So even in Poland, which is not so shiny country, between April and beginning of November, we use a lot of them. They generate a lot of power.
Really?
In the winter time, if you have very clear sky and it's okay, still, but it's help anyway. It's not so much like in Spain or in Florida, will be great, but for our environment, it's work okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The cutting place have their own, but this is only to change the air. We calculate the square meter of the building on the company who deliver this solution. We bring to them the needed, and they advise us how many of them we need to have,
Right.
and this is again the part of the same
So
system.
recirculates all the air 8 times per hour?
Recirculate all the air in the lamination 8 times per hour, yes.
Wow. Serious machine.
And here you have finishing the concrete. It will be the place when we will take out the boats. It will be communicate with this old one. So in some maybe 3 months we will have full job done, and it will be normal full working Ślepsk 5. My father buy 4 hectares of that. So I don't know in English how it is in American way, but 4 hectares it's a lot. It's like all Ślepsk 4 have. So we still have possibility to grow. Not now, we don't have so much orders to grow, but until we fill up this, and the next stage will be new wood shop, completely new wood shop in different place, much more advanced, I think then we can have some break. After 35 years, we will maybe stop for 2 years.
Take it easy for a little.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've earned it. Well, there you have it. That is our tour of Ślepsk. We have the Wiszniewski Yachts Group, and I have to say, if you made it this far in the video, you've seen one of the most interesting videos that we put together so far at Center Consoles Only. Michael, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alan.
For all the information. Congratulations on a beautiful business here. Your father, your family. We'd love to see the, you know, the whole infrastructure that you have here. And we honestly had no idea. We knew it was going to be impressive, but not quite this impressive. And everybody's been fantastic, from the guys and girls working that have been here 20, 30, 35 years to yourself. You've hosted us very nicely, and we very much appreciate it. So now we're gonna actually jump on the Wiszniewski Yachts 43. That's gonna be in a separate video. Since this was gonna be a long one, we wanted to make sure we separated that and gave it its proper attention, and it's gonna be something you're really gonna wanna see. So head on over to that. Subscribe, pass this along to any friends, whether it be manufacturers, Axopar potential buyers, you know, Sea Ray clients, Bayliner, whoever you would like that would be interested in this content, and let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, Michael, can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.